And that was very experience also, because I learned how to be effective in, despite of my position, in encouraging steps for women's rights, women issues, gender equality, services for women, and some laws that are really adopting gender equality as one major standard for legislation, and also integrating gender equality in the governmental plans and governmental strategies, despite of being political development strategy or youth strategy or social development strategy. It is important to integrate and to engender all of these processes, governmental processes. That was very important. Since I left the government after 3 years of being a minister, I was nominated as the Secretary General of the Jordanian Commission for Women. And this is a semi-governmental body, but it is the umbrella of all NGOs and agencies working on women issues, and that was a great opportunity for me to work with all women NGOs and to try to achieve a common agenda together, and to lobby for it with the government and with the other actors in the community. We reached a lot of achievements. Many laws were amended, new laws were adopted, such as the law against domestic violence law, which was adopted. A shelter for women was opened, and many other very important achievements, such as a quota for women in the municipal councils, which is now 25% seats are occupied for women. Also in the parliament there was some new laws that we pushed for a quota for women, and this quota started by 6 seats and now 12 seats, and the next elections will be 15 seats, the minimum. Of course, it is open for another seats through competition, which is very important. So many achievements will happen. We adopted a new strategy for women in Jordan, which is also a 5-year strategy that was done in a participatory way, where we used what we learned during our partnership with WLP, that strategic planning. We use it as a tool in how to strategize on national level for women in a participatory way. All governments, all sectors were involved, and we did all the exercises that is needed for analyzing the situation, the environment, and build on the achievements and see the gaps very clearly. And we found out that there are two main elements. One is economic empowerment is very important, and of course political empowerment and social empowerment, that is very important to work on. There are cross-cutting main elements, which is one of them is the legislation, and the other one is the culture, because we think that we need to change mentalities and behaviors of individuals, despite of being male or female. We want female to see themselves differently, their roles in the society differently, but also we need men to be part of these transitions that is needed in our societies toward more equal and democratic societies and inclusive citizenship societies. These different levels of activism make my experience very useful to me these days when I am dealing with our NGO, which is SIGI, Sisterhood's Global Institute, and it also helps me to play some roles in other countries, such as in Libya, working on the UN Commission for the investigation of human rights violations in Libya, just after the Libyan revolution started, and to be involved now in regional activities for a fair and equal rights for men and women in constitutions in the region, and also working on different aspects that is very important in transitional periods that we are witnessing in the Arab world these days. Women need to be involved in reforms processes, reforms that can be coming after a revolution or coming after people's demands to see reforms happen and to see a situation became more justice, more democratic and more transparent kind of ruling the societies, and better and best, more effective ways in confronting the economic difficulties and the fundamentalist movements in the societies that are really gaining a lot because they are using the religious beliefs as a majority of our people are really believers. So they are using these beliefs in organizing people politically, which is giving them extra power over the other political groups. And the problem is that they are not one group, political group. They are many different groups, political groups. Some are very extremist and very conservatives and very reactionary kind of groups, and some are really more liberal or more advanced groups. So you cannot put all Muslim political organizations in one category. And that means that some groups you are able to negotiate with them and to deal with them in a way that will help coming to a common agreements on specific issues and specific topics. But it is with other groups, it is really nearly impossible because they are closed 100%. They are not really ready to negotiate or to have any dialogue. But I do believe that we don't have any other way but being able to listen and to pass our messages to them. The most important thing in this kind of negotiations is for us to be aware exactly of our principles and being committed to them, and negotiate on our solid ground that we believe in, and then being open to listen to the others and to be logic in accepting or refusing the arguments that we are listening to from the others. It's very important to give the impression that we are flexible and we are ready to communicate and to build coalitions with others and to work for the common goals that we believe in. But in the meantime, it's very important for us to be clear on what we want and what our beliefs and our principles are. So our negotiation will help reaching agreements, but will not putting us in a position that we are losing our goals and our principles. So it's very important to be flexible and to learn from the lessons and to deal with all human beings based on the human rights principles. That is not discrimination against any person because of his or her beliefs or her thoughts or her political directions. And in the meantime, it's important to raise the culture of diversity, of democracy, of citizenship, of the rule of law, of the law that is need to be protecting all human beings' rights without any discrimination. These principles will help us bringing peace to our societies and having transitions and reforms that are peacefully achieved and peacefully having progress, not necessarily 100% toward what we want in a specific moment, but at least to keep going and to keep achieving what the people want and what the majority of men and women are seeing as the best interest of their societies, their families, and their children.
Great. You really got a lot of the questions in.
I think I